All right, good morning everyone. Melissa here. I want to load up a video before I am busy today. I have a bank to clean and then some other stuff in teaching today. So, yesterday I went to a job interview and my hair is getting super long, guys. Anyways, I went to a job interview and I had said to the lady who's really cool, I like her, how is the culture here? When she said, "Do you have any questions for me?" I said, "How is the culture? Is it really catty?" And she said, "Nope." I said, "Is it really catty or is it really family oriented?" And she's like, "No, we are very family oriented. We're like family." I had went to a different interview where the guy was like, "We are super family oriented here." He's like, "We actually I hang out with the other managers. So when I say we're family oriented here, I mean we are family oriented. That's how family oriented we are." So I had said to her, what's the culture like? Is it catty? And because one of the last jobs I had, somebody had said, "Oh, I've never worked for such a catty place." Where the girls were so catty. So she goes like this, and I thought this was like the perfect answer. She goes, "No, we are family oriented, but with that said, if somebody wants to disrespect us, we have no problem basically putting someone in their place." And the way she said it was a little scary. And I thought, I'm in. I'm in. My words exactly. She nailed it. Get along with people, love people, but if somebody wants to start trouble with you and disrespect you, no problem putting people in their place. And that is one of the mottos I live by, I think, in life. I had a friend say, "Melissa, you got an edge." And I do. Okay, I do, and it's good, because there's that self protection. But yet, I think she was a little more forbearing, which is also a good character quality, to get past sometimes those humps of feeling disrespected. And, not that you have to give it back, especially as a Christian, but you are going to say, actually, this is how I feel. This is what I think. And this is, don't be disrespecting people. It's so simple. Don't be rude to them. So she asked me my strong points, and I said, one of the things I live by in life is serving people. Serving people. That is, helping people is probably my biggest motto in life is helping others. And I said, but yet that can be the biggest weakness too, because I can lose myself in helping others. So that was a great interview, and talked about motorcycles a little bit and stuff. Um, so yesterday, I want to talk now pro-life. I want to get focused and talk about some stuff about pro-life. So that is, as you look at my video, my prerogative. I can do what I want. It's my choices in my life. That does not apply to abortion because you got another person there, right? You've got a baby. And once you are carrying a child in your body and you have chosen whether unintended pregnancy, whether it was an accident or not, once you are with child, the decision is over yours because you are carrying another child. You're carrying a child, another person. So I listened to a clip by Lila Rose at Yale with, I want to call her Miss Killing, but her name is Miss King, Kinging, Kissing, Mrs. Kinging, Mrs. Kissing. That's her name, Mrs. Kissing. Anyways, she is supposed to be some doctor or some bigwig who opened a Planned Parenthood abortion center. She had an abortion center. Maybe it wasn't called Planned Parenthood in the 70s, but she had an abortion center, and she's done abortions, and she talks about how important it is for women to have choices in life. And she goes so far as to put whether you eat meat or whether you're a vegetarian is a choice on the same level as abortion. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is supposed to be an educated woman. And yes, I do make fun of educated people who are not so educated in the moral department. Um, but she is actually, and I say that because abortion, that is the realm that there should be a righteous anger toward people like this. We tear down beliefs that are not true, and we may do it in a sarcastic way or in a funny way, but we are standing for truth. So she's saying meat is the same decision for a woman as whether she keeps her baby. And I'm listening to this like, you gotta be kidding me. Is she nuts? Because this is crazy. And then she said, we're always trying to do what's right, whether, that's how much money you give to help people or all these complex decisions when you're pregnant. And she makes it sound like it's such a complex decision. When you listen to Dr. I think Levantino, Lila talks about him. He was an abortionist who has come out of that. He did thousands of abortions and said, and they were late term abortions where women thought they were at risk. And he said not once in those late term abortions did a woman need an abortion. It's not needed. It's never needed. It is never needed to intentionally kill a child. Never. There may be complications that need to be addressed, but good health care is usually the answer. And if you don't have good health care, go somewhere else. So don't worry about the money. Just get Medicaid or something. And speaking of Medicaid, I had my babies pretty much for free. I had Medicaid with the first two where I didn't pay a dime, and Lila Rose is promoting births should be free. That's what she's promoting, and I believe that too. I think we can take the money from Planned Parenthood and cover birth instead of killing. If the taxpayers are being charged already for, killing babies, I think they can be charged for letting women have their children. Um, so, the other thing was when I did have my three home births, very, very cheap, very low cost to have my home births. And in fact, my home births were better care than at the hospital. Truly, they were. My first son, I started separating, my placenta started to separate. The second one, I went natural, and I just had a shot of Demulin in the arm, and that really didn't even do anything. I still had good care in the hospital for not knowing what I was doing as far as the nurses being nice. But the doctor at one point I thought I heard him thinking of doing a C-section if we didn't get the Pitocin going. And that is something doctors will do when they are busy and they don't want to deal with a pregnancy. It's not on their schedule. They will do a C-section. And that is not the best for baby and child unless it's actually really needed. So my home births were great. They really were. No complaints. The care all the way up, and to learn about my body and to see that it is natural to have children. You do have the strength. My last one was the longest labor. It was over 24 hours. It was the longest. And all it took was the midwife to say, Melissa, if you don't start pushing and my iron was low, we are bringing you to the hospital. And it really ticked me off, and it really motivated me to push more. But I was literally exhausted with my last one. Exhausted. He was the longest one. He was on a nerve in my leg, and it took forever. Um, so that was a very hard labor for me. Very hard. And anyways, it was still good. It was still very good. And so this is a black and white issue, ladies. It's not a issue in your life where you can do what you want. And she's talking about how she's thinking of all life and how a woman's life is obviously the primary concern because she's already born, but it should be mother and child. And there is no health care, no abortion or health care that is good. They call it health care, but none of it's good. when you kill your child, when a child is killed and it is covered up and all the evidence of that child, like in my abortion, was covered up and pretended it never existed. My dad said, keep your mouth shut to my brother. Your sister had an abortion. It was never talked about. I lost a child and it was covered up like it never happened. So when we do this to women, we are actually asking them to suppress truth, and we are asking them to live with something and to live a lie that they actually deny part of themselves, because that was your child, that was your son or your daughter, or, never mind the man. How does the man feel, right? The man has a right to his child. He does. So, so this is all the stuff that's being debated on a very low level on, well, there's lots of choices in life. We have to decide, what's right in all these areas, she says. So, abortion's the same category where we don't really know what's right for one may not be right for another. So she has this humanistic, no absolutes argument. And Lila is a warrior. Lila Rose just boom with her debates. She just knows how to debate so well. She just cut every little argument that she had. She cut it to pieces, and that is how we are to live. If we cannot stand for the unborn, ladies, we are not standing for ourselves. The best care for women is to have their babies. And then after that, if you decide you do not want your child or you cannot handle it, or for whatever reason, first thing you should do is have support. Really, you should have the support. You should reach out to pregnancy centers. This lady tried to put pregnancy centers down and say, do you really know what happens in these pregnancy centers? They try to force women to have their babies. I had an experience with pregnancy centers to help me after I had my firstborn. They helped me with clothes, a car seat, because I asked. It wasn't even that I really needed it. I was just looking for extra support with how to have my baby. That was more what I was looking for than the material stuff, because I did have money, and money is not that hard to come from, but to come by. But I've always been resourceful, right? So I mean, I had clothes, I had baby showers, but I was going there for the emotional support too, more of the emotional support than saying, let me save some money on my budget and get a car seat there. Also, in the teen years, they help you with parenting teens, which I took some classes, Earn While You Learn, for that. And then later, I took post-abortive classes there. So they are there for women, and I hope they expand more services, but I hope to open my nonprofit within a couple years. I have a meeting with somebody on my business this week. I have a meeting that I have to get back to with a nonprofit to get all the help free to get my nonprofit going. And this is going to help women with everything: gas cards, diapers, vehicle repairs, rent assistance, electric, because a lot of times, like right now, there's not a lot of help out there again right now, and it goes in ebbs and flows. And I had one church say, well, we only help people that go to our church. And she said, so you're welcome to come. I said, oh, how many times do I have to come to your church to get some help? And she's like, well, there's not a time. We just want to get to know you. So we are responsible for helping the poor, guys. People should not feel like it's conditional. Well, only if I go to your church and I believe what you believe do I get help. That's bogus. We are called to help the poor. And so I had mentioned to someone yesterday, I had said at the school, I have snacks in my vehicle. Do you want me to go out to my vehicle? Because the teacher had forgotten snacks. And I said, the reason why I have food in my vehicle is because whenever I'm driving and I see somebody who's homeless, I hand out food. And this person, he said, that sounds awesome. Can I go with you sometime? I'm like, that's all I do. But I'm thinking maybe my nonprofit will also have a place to help those who are homeless and poor. So, and low income housing that is actually decent, so there's all these things I'm thinking of all the time to help people. And right now, though, I'm very focused on my finances and making sure I get my life in order more to help more people. So it's about always staying on your feet, ladies. I just had a job say, the at night his hours went down. They don't have a lot of business, so he can't give me, the hours I wanted. So there's always something. And when there's always something, you got to stay on your feet. So you can do it. You can do it, ladies. Having children are a blessing. And as a matter of fact, I got to get going. I have teaching today too. Yesterday I was playing Uno with the kids, about 4 or 5 kids. I used to play that when I was younger with my mom. But they have changed the game now. They have a card that says you have to switch hands. And I'm like, what? What? Where did these rules come from? But they have another version of Uno. And then I was playing Monster. I seem to get pulled into this game a lot where kids want to play this card game and with me, and this kid is really good at it. He's like, I'm like, are you competitive? He's like, I am confident. And I'm like, confident? Ooh, you're confident you're going to beat me? Okay. So he did beat me. He did beat me. I go, oh my goodness, I'm getting beat. And he goes, yeah, and by a kid, you're getting beat. And it cracked me up. This kid is funny. So he doesn't like to lose. That's his reputation. He's not good at losing. So he is very competitive. And I'm like, oh, so now you're rubbing it in my face. You're actually rubbing it in my face that I'm getting beaten by a kid. He's like, yep. So it was bad. He beat me really bad. So I don't have a problem working with kids. It doesn't even feel like work. It is a lot of fun. So I, have the kids just, coming around me and wanting my time and attention constantly. I had a girl wanting me to color with her yesterday, and I wear my old jeans because I have markers on my jeans now because she was coloring on my leg and her paper outside, and it got on my leg. And then I have people who, kids who want me to talk to them. I am starting to learn Spanish because there is one boy who is trying to learn English, but he speaks Spanish. So I said to him yesterday, what did I say? I said, hola, and then I said, como es tú, and it's como estás. So I got that wrong. And then when we were playing Uno, I'm like, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. So I'm trying to learn my Spanish, which I should have paid attention in high school better because I took Spanish class. But I was skipping school because I was out with a boy all the time. So anyways, I'm trying to learn that now to help kids. So we have a lot of Spanish people around here, and I am trying to learn it so that I can talk to people more. So I'm going to run. I will be doing another video tomorrow about abortion, each day this week about abortion and breaking down the arguments.